Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel for another day of interaction, conversation in relation to my book, Secrets of Prosperity by the Richest Man Ever Lived. The last time when we talked, we discussed chapter 4 and 5 of the book. Chapter 4 talks about developing the heart of giving. And we cited instances of some of the most successful people in the world, some of the wealthiest people in the world, who are also givers, like Solomon admonished. He said that whoever gives to the poor is indebted to the Lord. So giving is paramount in the quest for wealth acquisition. It's one of the secrets of prosperity that King Solomon taught, which anybody who is sincere in pursuit of wealth should emulate. We saw that from Warren Buffett to Bill Gates to George Soros to Michael Jackson, the late king of pop, all these people are givers. They give, they give, and they keep on giving. Even the late Michael Jackson, his foundation still donates. I remember that they donated several amount of money to the artists who are affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, which affected several sectors in the world. So it is important to practice the art of giving. It's very important. Then we also talked about chapter 5, which deal with the issue of that in your quest for acquisition of wealth, avoid getting wealth through dishonest means. Do not run after wealth through cheating, through subverting the due legal processes. And we show examples of those who tried it and how they ended up in prison. So it is important, it's an important lesson. You can be wealthy through the, through the due process. Follow the due legal process of transaction of your business, in rendering your services, in everything you do. Do it legitimately. Warren Buffett has been diligently investing right from when he was literally a kid. You can see the honesty in his process of wealth creation. Bill Gates, we know his invention made him what he is today. The Microsoft and all that he did with the computer. How he made it accessible to every home. That needed it all over the world. He revolutionized dissemination of information instantly. And he was rewarded for it. And he's still being rewarded for it. So following the right process can make you rich. You don't need to follow the wrong way. You don't need to break the law. You don't need to cheat. You don't need to subvert the due process. You can do it honestly and you get rich. So Solomon warned against getting wealth through dishonest, and he specifically said that you're gonna end up badly. So what's the point of getting the wealth when you know you are gonna end up badly? So today we want to look at the chapter 6, which talks about generational wealth. Because in this area, at this point, Solomon is talking about that wealth is not merely something you do for yourself. You can create wealth that generations unborn, for your children's children, they will benefit from it. That was why he said in Proverbs chapter 13 verse 12, he said, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. Of course, we know that Solomon was talking about an agrarian society which he was living in, because agriculture was mainly the main. Of course, there were divisions. There were those who were into other areas of human endeavor, who were artists, who were priests, who were, creators of innovative things. We all know that the pyramids were built, and the temple was built under him. So those guys that did all those, that built the temple, that designed it, that laid the master plan for its layout, its intricate designs of that of the temple that he built for the Lord. These guys are craftsmen. So it wasn't just mainly, but they are mainly agrarian society. So in that case, acquisition of estates, of land, is important. Until today, anybody who owns lands is in the right position to leave wealth for his children's children. Because land will continue to be of value as the population of the world keep on increasing. Okay. So, but there were other sources of creating generational wealth that goes beyond you and beyond you and get to your children's children. Land is one of them. Many societies around the world are landowners today because of the land left for them by their fathers. Okay, that's generational transfer. There are people who don't have land. Let's be frank about this. There are people who today they rent land. They cannot farm. They have no farmland unless they rent, unless they buy. But there are people who have inherited land just by birth. Those can consider that as a generation. So somebody who want to create wealth can look at that. Are you coming from a family where land is an issue, where you don't have land inheritance? You may think about acquisition of land as a means of creating generational wealth. You can invest in real estate. You can invest in gold. You can invest in natural resources. Invest in mines. Get oil blocks in oil producing countries or anywhere you think that there are oil reserves. These are some of the ways that generational wealth can be created so that when you die, your children's children can inherit those. And they will be blessing you, praying for you, even in your death, because you made life easier for them. But we also know that we are living in a world in which what is generational wealth is also changing. You are not living in an agrarian society. Many of the people that are listening to me right now could be living in a place where they have never seen a farm, but they eat all the agricultural produce at the snap of a finger. So there are other ways which science, technology, innovation has made available through which people can create generational wealth. This is in form of innovation. You can be an inventor. Right from Thomas Edison, and people have been benefiting and creating generational wealth through invention, through patenting, through science, technology, innovation. People have created generational wealth. A lot has done so through intellectual property rights. And there are a lot of people who today have created generational wealth through their intellectual property. They are dead, but they are still earning money. That money they are earning has been enriching their estate, taking care of their children, education, their children's welfare. And there are potentials of those money remaining to reach their children's children. If you take a look at the king of pop, Michael Jackson, he died in 2009. But a decade after he died, Michael Jackson, through intellectual property rights, through his music, the download. In fact, recently, his Billie Jean song reached 1 billion views on YouTube, the highest any dead musician has ever achieved. He did it. And that is how people keep on streaming his music, despite all the controversies that the media try to create to diminish him, to run him down even in death, giving oxygen to several lies about him. Yet, they were not able to stop the love that people had for his work, for his music, for his charity, for all that he did. They keep on downloading his music, playing his music, buying his music. And he also made some right investments while he was alive, owning several catalogs, which made several multi-millions of dollars in return for him. And a decade after he died, he has generated $2.4 billion. And since he died, as I'm till now I'm recording this in 2021, Michael Jackson has continued to be the highest end celebrity, dead celebrity. He has out-earned everybody, from Elvis Presley to Prince to John Lennon and all those. So that is the beauty of creating generational wealth. When you are not there, your work speaks for you. Your work talks for you. Your work is enjoyed by the living and is still useful to those who are alive. Like Michael Jackson, the king of pop, like Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Elvis Presley died long ago, yet in 2016, according to the Forbes, he made $40 million. Arnold Palmer, he died in 2016 at the age of 87 as a result of heart disease. A year after he earned $35 million, because over 400 stores were still selling Palmer branded apparels in Asia. And Arizona Beverages produces 400 million cans of his Arnold Palmer line annually. This man is dead. He's still earning money more than the living because of the generational wealth he created. Then you have cartoonist Charles Shaw. He died in February 12, 2000 at the age of 77. Somebody who died in 2000. In 2017 alone, he earned $34 million. That is staggering. But that is the beauty of generational wealth. Take, for instance, the reggae legend, Bob Marley. He died in 1981. But in 2017, he made $23 million through the sale of branded apparels and things that are associated with him, head speakers and all whatnot. That is generational wealth. Take Dr. Arthur, the author, Dr. Seuss. He died in 1991 at the age of 87. He sold 4.8 million books in 2016 and earned $16 million. Legendary actor Marilyn Monroe. She died in 1962 at the age of 36. In 2017, she earned $40 million. Thanks to a deal involving blank pen. Today, his images are still being paid for when used commercially. Her images are still being used when used commercially. People pay for it. So that is the beauty of generational wealth. You can ask yourself, okay, I'm not a musician, I am not an actor. Well, what am I going to do to create generational wealth? You have a lot to do. There is a book inside you. There is an art inside you. There is something about you that people want to know. There's something that God put inside you, which you can create, which nobody else can do except you, which nobody knew about. But it is you that knows it. It is you that will tell the world about it. So you can create generational wealth by creating something, by inventing something. You can write books. There are books inside of you. There are books waiting to be written inside of you. There are stories, scripts to be written inside of you. There are innovations that is you that will make it possible. There are things that you can do. It is not only the Michael Jacksons of this world, the Marilyn Monroes, the Elvis Presleys of this world, the Warren Buffetts that can do great generational wealth. You can do it. There is something inside of you. There is something special that God put inside you. You can do it. If only you put your mind to it. So you can write books, you can create music, you can draw and paint, you can invest in real estate, you can invent anything of value, and you patient them and create generational wealth. You may not even create anything. There are many patented products already. Go to your patient shop, patient office. Look for something, the things that are coming up in the future. Something that somebody had invented and patented that is up for grabs. You can grab it, you can make it your own. Years later, your grandchildren will thank you for it. Your great-grandchildren will celebrate you for it. So what Solomon has taught us is to look at the future, to look at wealth, and look at it from a generational point of view. Like I keep saying, Solomon was actually a thinker of sustainable development, sustainable families. Because sustainable development is talking about management of resources today in such a way that we preserve those resources for future generations. Those who understand sustainable development from environmental perspective can also understand what I'm talking about. Because that is how the sustainable development mantra came into international discourse in environmental management in the past 50 or 60 years. The need to manage resources today, not only just to satisfy us, but also to make sure that the resources of the earth is managed in such a way that future generations can also benefit from these resources. We don't exhaust it, we don't selfishly finish everything on the earth and don't give a damn about the people that are coming behind us. So it is with generational wealth. You don't just create wealth to meet your present needs and egos. You think about the future, your children's children. It's a lesson from the richest man that ever lived, who also happens to be the wisest that ever lived, King Solomon. Now, another issue that we have to talk about is we'll look at chapter 7 of the book, matching your thoughts with work. We know about the importance of thinking right. We are what we think. Thoughts are things. Before you can achieve anything of note, you must first think about it. It must first be clear there must be clarity of thought on it. You must see it in your mind's eye. And then think about it, take a decision about it, and go after it. But we have had instances where people think about things. The thought is right, but the actions are not taken. So King Solomon, in his wisdom, in one of the secrets he shared with the world, he talks about the need to walk the talk. Because you know that you don't only need to think about it, you need to talk about it. And then you need to work for it. In Proverbs chapter 26, verse 13 to 14, Solomon said that a sluggard says there is a lion in the road, a fierce lion roaming the streets. As a door turns on its hinges, so a sluggard turns on his bed. He was talking about laziness. Laziness. Procrastination. Deferring things to be done today, tomorrow, or forever. He was talking about the need to take action, the need to pursue the thoughts. When you think about it, take a decision about it, you work for it. Warren Buffett did not become Warren Buffett because he was thinking about investments. Of course, he thought about how to invest, where to invest, and how to invest, or what to invest on, and did the mathematical calculations that give him the projections of what he should expect if he invests in certain stocks, in certain business endeavors. But he did the work. You can think about all the books, best books in the world, as you like, but you must take action to write the book. Your thought will not write the book. Your thought is key. It is important. Let us emphasize this. Your thought is important in the process of creation, because it is what you think about that you can act on. So it is important that you think. So thought is important. But more important is taking action to actualize what you think about. The book that you think about that is inside you is not going to write itself. The film scripts that is inside you is not going to write itself. Like Napoleon Hill has taught, you can't get anything for nothing. You must pay the price. Paying the price means you must do the work. You must take the action. There is no guarantee that the first action you will take will succeed, but you keep on trying. You keep on trying. Thomas Edison fell 10,000 times before he gave us the electricity we are enjoying today, the bulb that we are enjoying today. Today, every homes are lighting because Thomas Edison fell 10,000 times and was ready to fail even more than that because he was focused. He was doing the work. He was not deterred by his failure. In fact, he saw those failures as knowledge end of those that cannot work. He sees them as things that didn't work. So he didn't see them just merely as failure, but he said those 10,000 experiments he did that didn't work were learning lessons of what cannot work. So you must be ready to take action. You must be ready to walk the talk. You must be ready to pay the price. You must be ready to do the research. You must be ready to do the work. But the key thing is that, the important thing is that as you are doing it, you are convinced because you have seen it in your mind eye that you're on the right track. Of course, your plan may fail initially. You may have to draw another plan. You may have to take another action. You may have to start all over again. But you cannot think and leave it like that. Then it becomes mere daydreaming. You must take the action. You must walk the talk. It is not alone. It is not, wealth cannot be created through thoughts alone. But thought is key. Let's be frank about this. Thought is key. You must first think about it. You must first see it in your mind's eye that this is possible. However, you must do the work to actualize it, to bring it into reality. Of course, help will come because when you think about it, when you step out to do it, help will come. It normally comes because your thoughts will connect with other thoughts who will bring help, who will make it possible for you to achieve what you want to achieve. But do not think alone and leave the matter like that. You must step out of your comfort zone and do the work. That is a secret, one of the secrets taught by the richest man that ever lived, who also happens to be the wisest man that ever lived, King Solomon. Thank you very much for listening. Hope to see you next time when I share another video in my channel with you about my book, Secret of Prosperity by the Richest Man That Ever Lived. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. God bless you.